This program is brought to you by the Government Communication and Information System.
Yanibingelela nonke emakhaya igama lami ubusisiwe Gumede Chijanje yanamukela ngezandla ezifudumele eshowini yethu entshasha esibiza ngo Citizens Connect. Well, ihlelo la sikhuluma khona ngeenkinga ezibalulekile. Namhlanje sobe sikhuluma ngodaba elithinta izwe lethu, indaba ye gender based violence and femicide. Yini into yenza ukuthi singakwazi ukuyinqoba lempi? Well, sizobe sikhuluma nabantu abandlulile kuleyo nto leyo, sibabuza ukuthi benze kanjani, kanye nathi futhi sizibuzise ukuthi yini into esingayenza engasiza ukuthi sikwazi ukuxazulula lenkinga.
Nna ke nna Magadi Mangole ke sefane sa ko gae ke tswa ko Rustenburg mare ke goletse mo Magalesi ka tsena sekolo mo Magalesi ka feleletsa sekolo mo Magalesi.
Magadi ne le ngwana o right ha gola go dile le ngwana o right ale nice ale down to earth, but after lenyalo le le nna ke bua le ene ke bala mantswe pele.
Abuse e simolotse ke le motsetsi ke le kwa bone ke bile ke mama ga gestsetsi, so mama ga gena mpele go saiteng gore ke re ba re ke le nosi ene a ba re nga se re ba le ke le nosi o nagana gore ke tla jola mare ke le motsetsi. Then abuse is startile ka yone nako eo a starta go robalana le nna while I'm on stitches ke mo kopa then a robala le nna ke le mo di stitching.
O ntsana le engale ka jeno o ntsana le engale ka jeko ha soka a thola di counseling aba right le after the last abuse ana mo tlile ka go tlileng a zanga ya di counseling Magadi.
The pain in the uta di stitch di khagamologa ke robetsilene, it was like in le botlhoko ene ka didimala a kere ya nong ke ne ke morata ene ke go ga e banthetse ba re sephiri sa mo lenyalong ke sephiri saka, so ka didimala ya gore ke boele gape go doctor ba buseletse di stitches le gape sentle ba nroke gape sentle, then abuse is startile for
a kere ba re ka Sesotho moetsilela motsheo ha o boele ko gae o le mosadi wa mamella.
Second abuse ya isinya gompetsa eo e tshwana kana le ele ya gene ke le motsetsi. Every time the winner bolela ka teng ha atla o ne a make next ke twaetse bile life yo ke phelo o ne make sure gore ha atla tsontso ke kana me go di mabet ke tsemang go kwane so a ntse monwana ko class a check gore ke ne ke robaliwa ke mang, so ke bile ka feleletsa like ke lapile ka tsone dilo tseo ke be ke mora ke re go a tshwana even though ke a ratana wena the way wena na ganang ka teng ha ke berekisa condom, how are you going to see gore ke robetse le somebody ne ke sa tshwanna go tlhapa ka date ene a tlang ka yone ha ka tlang kra ke tlhapile ke tswa go mothong, so ine nna ntona nchapa.
I was the first person gore ampolelle and ona bona le ene gore maloma ga ge le nna wa nchapa wa mpugisa go tseng bikinyana, so Magadi a batla go nna a re go nna mama lome ka nyalwa go ya nyanya bla bla re nyetswe go monate lenyalo le fitile go mona o bile le ngwana alright ka tla ka tlo bona ngwana fine ha ngwana ntse go la go atlagela mathata Magadi a tla go nna mama lome dia boa ya no kontlu motholo wa boulela ole o etsa 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 and the worst part of it one pizza ka re kwena Magadi ya no ha setse ana le letsogo o wes o tlo tshwana le maloma gago wa bona ka re bitsa bolela bagolo re dule mo fatshe re buisane maybe ha ka kgalemelwa go ka ba betere go bitswa bagolo go dula le ene mo fatshe etsa ka rutlwile di abuse di etsa jwalo o ya ikoba na ikobile go ngwana modimo ole yo a etsa ka re ntwe e fedile
the way anchapile nga teng o nampofile like ke wila ke re aba mpofa matsoga ka aba etsa yana go nna ko morago aba nna modimo ka le matsogo so that ke ska khona go aba ntshwara this part ne ke na le moruo motona ba tshwara moruriwo batho na ba ntshebeletse ka re ba ko lizung like batho ba surroundile fence ampetse
yo a ke le lebale letsatsi leo ngwana ha a tlo kena mo at least a tshwere ka mo le ka mo Magadi ke sa mo tsebe ke re ba ntletse ene dinyao pese ne di so be wese so like today I don't guluguto tswa ka yo tlilong yana ke tsotsi ne o thuba kwa mang ha ba re ke ja mo sheba ke Magadi yeso a pere jini ha ke re ke Magadi a shapi sefatleo se sa bona le mahlo a kwalele Magadi o ka re anana e butsitseng yo ke sa itse ke reng go ngwaneng Magadi o mo ha o go sepetlele a re ke tswa sepetlele ka go ba sa go keep until o folenyana a re ka re Magadi ha o ka boela go monneng ole nna a ke re motlale hlapa ka matsoa mtana ke tswile
it went to a point a gore ke feleleditse ke rekiste RTP ke batlo move from community
keletso ya ka gore ska mamellang abuse hore e tla ka thobalano fela o tla a robala le wena ka 8 ka 10 ka nako mang ke abuse le yone eo o tla a robala le wena mohla o sa batleng o utlwa gore ha o kgatetse mmele ga o monate Magadi o kila thubu ya di stitch a le fresh ngwana o se le kgwedi ya abuse o na tshwanetse a ba le ile yona nako e batho go sa understand ana monna ka wa nthata monna ka maybe ha batlo ya ko ntle laya baleha nako sa le teng
Sekukuningi esikuzwile from uMagadi no anti wakhe. Into abasikhumbuza yona ukuthi lenkinga le ayiyindawo. It is a big problem in our communities and in our country. Ungayindawo siyabuya with more meaningful conversations. Ngiyanamukela futhi ehleleni lethu silibiza nge-Citizens Connect. Ngijabule ngiyafake because I'm not alone. Angingedwa. In studio with me is Usis Magadi Mangole, but also with us is Ubutsiya Gentile. So before siqala i-conversation lena ke ngifuna ukubonga kakhulu siswami sis Magadi for ukuthi uvukile namhlanje wayitshela ukuthi ufuna ukushare i-story sakho, which is something engekho lula. Mhlambe asiqale ngaloko ukuthi as a survivor kunjani to live through the trauma of violence.
As a survivor ya GBV ke experience tse di ngata like now ke phela ka anger ke na le anger ke yone ke sempana ke batla go lwantsha ke na le anger anything enyane then I take it big.
It's a very sad story. Part of it reminded me of my own mother's story, my mother was a victim of violence, of domestic violence. Part of her story took me back there, a woman being abused and then keeping on going back to the abuser.
Akukho lula ukuthi umfazi aphume relationshipini enjalo. Abaningi babo bayazithola sebabuyele back ezandleni zomuntu obahlukumezayo. Was it like that for you? Did it just take one thing ukuthi uyekele?
No, it's not easy because on the other side, you will find that the father is the only one obereka and the husband is the only one obereka. So when how bereki, then udependile ko yena. So at a moment how utsamaile, then you realize some of the things to do short and then you go back. I think ke buetsi back when 3 times.
So yeah, let me bring you in on the conversation. Itori lezi ezifana nezaka sis Magadi yizo lezo zizwayo kakhulu through inhlangano yakho Not In My Name.
Le ndaba ye-GBV umuntu akavuki nje kuseni abe or akuvuka nje ukuthi kune case ye-GBV kunezinye izinto that influence this sort of violence, especially emadodeni, whether ukuthi bakhula in violent environment noma the way they were socialized, how abosisi bethu are raised nabo as little girls, what is the role of alcohol abuse and drug abuse, what is the role of unemployment and other socio-economic factors esizithola sikuzona in South Africa.
Abantu besifazane mabahamba mhlambe bayo reporta inkinga zabo or bayofayila icase namaphoyisa, it's either bayajikiswa or abathola usizo leli abalidingayo. How big of a problem is that?
It is very big, sis, and maybe just take it from the party Amapoisa, for an example. Our policemen and women, we believe they are not adequately trained to deal with domestic violence cases. You'd hear cases like, no man, go talk about it.
Like in experience because it happened. Ke gore nako nngwe o kra maponisa a mang ba re tsamali lo nna mfatsi le bue le lokise family or le family le yone ko site family ya lona e re nna mfofatse as husband and wife le bue ke most of the cases tse di tsanyalo gore re feleletse re butse e be re tsholla.
Siswami wena uyiphilile lempilo le wakhona futhi ukuyinqoba, and right now you are part of people who are doing a difference and making a difference in your community. Wena mawuqabanga isolution ikuphi na?
Solution ya go stop GBV.
Ya stop domestic violence.
Na solution ne ke bona gore like especially for rona bomme re tshwantse re ikemelele re le bomme re tshwantse re eme re ska dependa too much ko bathong ba bontate, and then le bontate like they tshwantse ba khofe dilo tse ding out because bontate na kongwe ba nna ka dilo, maybe let me say gona le ntho salang ka moetsa yone bete nako ele so sempana a itshwere mo yene ha I share le somebody, so that thing every time hampona it comes back. So I think le bontate le bone tshwantse ba nne le men's forum nyana gore ba khone go thusana ka those kind of things on the men's forum.
Do you want to add on?
Yeah, I wanted to add just on this. So, and I like what Osmahad is saying. I agree with you 100%. But now, let's in our own spaces and then talk about our issues. Create safe spaces for vulnerable. But what I wanted to add also, Uti, I think one of the things is because I genuinely believe Uti, every other intervention it's being reactive, it's being reactionary. Whether siya piketa, siya marcha, it's after the crime has been committed. Umuntu sekalimele. Or sekabulewe. So legislation lapho zange khona ukumsiza, umthetho azange khona ukumsiza, because we can prevent other women from going through what she has went through. Women such as my own mother, who later, fortunately it stopped and her own story changed. And I hope that many other women's stories in South Africa can change. And for them to change, it's going to take all of us, including myself, to make that change.
Osmahadi, do you think ikasebeta ntwe eu ya gore abantu abawonile or abantu abusive banikezwe ama second chance in our community? Do you think that the man who allegedly abused you once in your life has the capacity to change?
I can see that one. I think I am married. I do mean ba few second chance because lebone ke batho maybe somehow ba ka change ba bana kids, but now according to waka monna the way ne ke mona ka teng ne go sa nne better, ne go nna worse.
Ucabanga ukuthi mhlambe ingasebenza? And your take?
Yeah, labo yabona labo yibo ke ekumele ukuthi senze example ngabo, because we need to take them out of our streets. We need to find the harshest of measures to deal with those people. It cannot be that you rape a 2-year-old and then you are welcomed back into the society, even though siyabona ukuthi our rehabilitate kanga.
Kopano ya ka le busisi we lesia inthusitse thata. Ke khonne go bua like everything tsene se mbodar inthusitse thata le di advices tsa bone. Hona le ekitse reng gore I have to get counseling because I can't nka se re ke batla go thusa setšhaba, whereas le nna I'm still head. I must heal first so that ke kgone go thusa setšhaba. Yes.
I asazi ke ukuthi what the solutions are or where the solutions lie. Firstly, I just want to thank you guys for doing the work, doing the work that you're doing in your spaces. Osmukhadi Raleboga, thank you so much for taking the time, of course, to share your story with us. Because you're still watching Citizens Connect. After the break, we take a deeper look into solutions that we should be exploring. Yini into sonke singayenza engakwazi ukuthi sisize ukuxazulula lenkinga esibhekane nayo. Hlala nathi. #Citizens Connect yiyo ke ongayisebenzisa on all social media platforms mhlambe mawufuna ukuxhumana nathi or to just simply share your opinion. Lokho ke kubaluleke kakhulu kithi. Ungakhohlwa ke ukuthi sisakhuluma ngendaba ebaluleke kakhulu eye domestic violence, udlame lwasekhaya. Yini into yenza ukuthi singakwazi ukunqoba lenkinga lena? Here to help me discuss that is Shoki Shabalala, who's the Deputy Director General that is responsible for mainstreaming women's rights as well as advocacy. Sabonga, thank you so much for isikhathi sakho namhlanje.
Sabonga.
Kakhulu abantu bakhuluma nge-South Africa engena gender-based violence, South Africa engena domestic violence. Do you think that is a realistic goal esingabhekena kuyo?
I believe that because we have the National Strategic Plan as adopted by Cabinet, a plan eyabhalwa wu-government ne-civil society, a plan enezinto ekumele sizenze kuminyaka yokuqala ye-5 years neminyaka ye-10 years, which means the plan has a 10-year horizon. It's got the long-term vision. Ngaleyo plan leyo, ayikho into engasihlula uma sibambisana. Siwumphakathi, siwuhulumeni, ne-private sector.
We don't have 10 years, unfortunately. I mean, as we are speaking right now, somewhere there is a woman that is being violated, somewhere there is, a young child who's being molested. And so while we welcome the plan, we really need to emphasize that the agency does not afford us the opportunity to be, having 10-year plans and things like that.
Mhlambe asiqale sibheke ukuthi yini into container kuleyo national plan yethu in terms of focusing on gender-based violence.
Iplan yethu inamaphila awu-6. Baye bethu abanye imigomo. Kulamaphila awu-6 eyokuqala iphila ngesingisi sithi it's about accountability. Leyo iphila eyenza ukuthi wonke umuntu athathe indawo yakhe yoku-addressa i-gender-based violence. Wena qobo lakho siye sithi do not turn a blind eye.
And that means reporting instances of gender-based violence.
It is your responsibility. You also need to take charge. Because if you are aware and when I report, the perpetrator uzoqhubeka nale behavior yakhe. Eyesibili i-prevention iphila. Ngaphandle kokuthi si-prevent i-GBV, le gender-based violence, siyohlala si-responda njalo, siyohlala si-reacta njalo. Sinayo i-prevention strategy. Sinawo lawo ma-sessions nasey'kolweni through the programs ezikhona. Enye yakhona abo-comprehensive sexuality education. La bathola indlela yokuthi umntwana bamfundise noma ngabe umfana or intombazana ngokomzimba nje wakhe nokuthintwa ukuthi uthintwa kanjani ubani and at what point do you feel ukuthi this is uncomfortable, this I need to report.
Do you still feel the pushback mhlambe from the communities, from parents overall?
Yona ikhona, and it's not only parents, kukhona namasonto angayivumi kwanhlobo. Kubalulekile ukuthi uma abantu sibabiza to educate them ngama services esinawo ka government basithathe serious ba attend, because you need to know ukuthi imaphi ama-services engawathola mangise-police station. You need to know ukuthi ama-rights wakho athini mangabe uyi-survive. But you need to know nokuthi every police station inalento ekuthiwa yi-10-point plan yabo ithini. Ngalawo ma-rights wakho uyakwazi ukubacela ukuthi ngicela ningimikise ku-victim support room, ngizocela ukuthi kube ne-privacy khona lapho. Kodwa kuphinde kube ne-gender-based command center engena ku-pillar 4 about response, healing and care.
Look, we remain inspired by whichever action, no matter how big or small, especially from the side of government towards eradicating or ending violence on women and girls, or violence on children.
So that was pillar 4. What is then pillar 5 and 6?
Pillar 5 ukhuluma ngokuthi economic power. Abomama bakhala ngokuthi sikhathele ukuthi nilibele nisinika ama-catering services. Thina si-confined to amakhishi, njalo senza ama-catering, senza ukudla nani. Ake nisinike ama-project amakhulu ngoba sinokhono. Sinale program esibiza ukuthi iwe khona, Women's Economic Assembly. Leyo project ngizoyibeka ngesingisi kancane. It unlocks the opportunities kuma supply chain or organizations.
And the last pillar?
Ipillar yokugcina, it's about research and information management. Sigqugquzela kakhulu ukuthi sihlala sibe ne-research nalezi zinto esizenza ngoba uma singa research to confirm and validate ukuthi ngempela le nkinga lezi zikhoswa ukuthi nokuthi sisazi nokuthi inkinga yethu ingakanani idata.
Umsebenzi wakho uinvolve ukuthi umamele izitori ezifana nezaka Magadi. On a personal level, do you think ukuthi singafika endaweni la singajabula khona ukuthi cha i-gender based violence yadila ngayo or ne-domestic violence nayo?
Singafika, kodwa ngiyophinde ngigcizelele ngithi bobaba wozani, come on board, be our partners. Ngoba umama akazibulali, umuntu esifazane akazidlwenguli, uyabulawa, uyadlwengulwa, uyashawa. Ushawa ubani? So abobaba mababuye ashilo omunye wama-speakers sebeka khona ukuthi ababuyele to the drawing board, bakhulume as amadoda, ngoba thina mhlambe masikhuluma siyabomama ngeke sizwakale.
Ke nagana gore show ena e botlhokwa too much mo setšhabeng, because some of the things ha re khone go fitlhella batho ba bangata gore re ba advice, but a show like this, like batho ba khona go fitlhella ba bang bana le the very same challenge e ke nang le yone, but through this show ha ntse re bua then e khona go ba thusa a lot.
Thank you so much, Mama. But we really appreciate your insights namhlanje. And of course, we have been speaking to Umam Shoki Shabalala, who is the Deputy Director General responsible for mainstreaming women's rights and advocacy. Of course, this was one of the many conversations that are expected to unfold here on Citizens Connect. I'm so happy and excited to be part of this journey with you. Join us next time as we tackle another issue esihluphayo emphakathini wethu.